Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Expert Matters. Today, we are talking about a world that's full of creativity, chaos, and caffeine, the agency world. It's a dream career for many marketing students, but also one of, what it often feels gated, competitive, and very hard to break into. So, to help us decode this space, we have with us Mr. Sagar Nidmani. He's the founder and CEO of Clever Ties, which is a leading integrated marketing agency based in Bangalore. So, with over 15 years of experience in advertising, strategy, digital transformation, Sagar has worked with multiple brands. But instead of a success story, today's conversation is about helping fresh talent find their way into agencies, what it takes, what to expect, and how to grow once you are into it. So, let's dive right into it. Thank you so much, Sagar, for joining us today.
Hi, Shruti. Thank you so much for having me over.
Perfect. If you can just introduce us about your journey so far in the corporate world, we can have a lot of questions for you today to ask for.
Absolutely. I did my until my graduation. I was in my hometown, which is Dharwad, and I had to find some excuse to basically get out of my hometown and go somewhere else and explore the world. And for that, getting an MBA was more of an escape route to get out of home more than anything else. And most of my sort of journey or most of my discovery into advertising world was by chance, but not by specific intent. But then the aspect of the kind of liberty you have to say yes, say no, think outside the box, and so on and so forth, that advertising industry gives you uh, uh, gives you a sense of freedom, power to keep pushing, keep exploring, and to keep things fun rather than be restricted to Excel sheets. Nothing against Excel sheets, but then for me, that aspect was very important, and that's how I ended up landing into the advertising world by chance after doing or joining a particular consulting firm right at the beginning, right after my MBA. And then I have stuck around the agency world from year two till date, and can't think of any other industry that gives you the kind of thrill, the kind of variety that the advertising world does give you. Uh, I worked with bunch of agencies in my initial career. Worked with boutique agency, worked with a very big agency, which was part of the younger brother Anil Ambani's uh, agency, or they wanted to mimic what the elder brother did with Mudra, and previously it was called as the Pact, then it was called as Worldwide Open. I was there for some time, and then I was also working for a US based sort of agency. I was lucky enough to basically work in a traditional creative agency, digital agency, agency which focused on performance, an agency which was integrated as well and had the privilege to understand the various facets of advertising agency, which led me to believe that we need to integrate all of this knowledge package into one and start my journey as an entrepreneur with Clever Ties, which is an amalgamation of two words, clever plus advertising. That's what is Clever Ties. And that's how the journey started, basically. Yeah.
Amazing. That's such an honest perspective of, getting outside of your hometown and then struggling and working with a lot of companies to develop a perspective of what you actually want to do in life. So that was an incredible explanation. Sagar, my first question to you would be, a lot of students describe the agency world as exciting, but also hard to enter into. So why do you think it feels so gated for freshers? And what are the main barriers that keep them out of it?
Right. See, probably if I have to give you an honest answer, if I have to simplify it, the agency world is similar to that of your Bollywood industry. Uh, for somebody who doesn't come from agency background, or doesn't come from that particular pedigree, or hasn't spent too much of time, or doesn't know somebody who can help them sort of enter this particular industry as such, it feels like a lot of auditions after auditions, auditions after auditions. But what the world sees is how there is a fan following for Shah Rukh Khan, like how there is a fan following for our very sort of beloved Piyush Pandey, who we sort of lost very recently. But people see how people are celebrating Piyush Pandey, and how Piyush Pandey is wearing those beautiful, colorful, fancy Ranveer Singh styled shirts out there, and with a nice glass of whatever. But he's at work, and when people look at that and they think that, oh, this is work, they are mesmerized by the sort of fact of how work happens in the agency world, right? But then it takes a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of grunt work for you to be able to pull it off and make it big in the agency world. And to come back to your question, that's the reason why the pedigree that is required to succeed is very different from that of a short job in probably some other industry. It feels easier, safer, more controlled, less chaotic, better work-life balance, and so on and so forth. So it's easier that way. That's the reason why the industry allows only people with certain pedigree to sort of get in. And it's like a sea. If it's a sort of bad plastic that is entering the sea, it automatically sort of throws it out. And only the ones who are meant to sort of survive with or within the ocean are the ones who are let in. So it is less gated now compared to sort of the times when we started. It was already getting easier thanks to the onslaught or the wave of digital. Now with the wave of AI coming in, it is getting a little more easier. But the bare principles or the bare foundation of what is the sort of pedigree that is required hasn't changed much for you to succeed. While entering might be a little easier than before, but succeeding still needs the same pedigree. So I think that's the reason why it looks the way that it looks. Very lucrative from far, but as and how you go closer to the mountain, you realize that it's a tough trek to reach the top. So yeah, that's advertising industry, I guess. Yeah.
Amazing explanation. But again, like you explain how agency works and how it attracts talent. At the same time, there is a lot of competition, or maybe there's a lot of confusion when students, or maybe individuals, or talent has to search for companies between agency or a corporate route whenever they have to plan their career, or maybe the next career move which they have. So how would you compare the agency route versus the corporate route, and what kind of personality or goals fit best in each of the two?
Yeah, that's correct. So that's a sort of good question, and it's a very important question for the sort of people out there to understand. See, let me sort of tell you something, or probably for your audience to understand, they need to ask the following question. A lot of people uh, ask them what is their dream company, right? They will tell you it's probably Coca-Cola, it is probably Facebook, or I don't know if it is Google, or it could be sort of bunch of these things, right? Uh, but do you realize that it is actually their marketing that has done to them? And there are marketeers out there who have induced this choice to make you see the company in a certain way, and to sort of get them to believe that, hey, you know what, it would be really cool if I work in a Coca-Cola company, or in ABO InBev, or nobody wakes up in the morning and dreams of working in, don't get me wrong, but ICICI or HDFCI or HDFC or SBI Bank, right?
Mhm.
Nothing wrong against it. Some of the banking industry is also doing cool stuff, like probably Kotak is doing something, a lot of cool stuff. I think Axis is also trying to do some cool stuff, especially the new. new age sort of bankers or banking uh, uh, banks are doing well, but I think nobody wakes up and dreams about working in such companies or doing that. So it's all marketeers trickery, or them having induced these choices. And then you go ahead and ask one more question. I want to work for Apple. Yeah, sure. Steve Jobs is one of the sort of best marketeers that the world has seen. But then, do you realize that it's ultimately Steve Jobs working with a creative agency or ultimately a marketing agency to basically create the kind of perception that is formed around, let's say, Apple or Coke or any other dream company that you want to work with? And who does that work? Steve Jobs is one of the exception. Do you think that Coca-Cola has a marketing team which is thinking of all of these things and bringing those really cool, sexy ideas to life, and because of which you're wanting to become or work in the marketing team of Coke? Sorry to break the news to you, but it's the agencies who are making it happen. So if you think that the company that you want to join is really, really cool, uh, and if you really are passionate about it, maybe you should check out as to which are the agencies who are representing those companies and join those agencies, where you get to do actual story building sort of work. Obviously, not to sort of discount the fact that even as a client, you need to have the judgment and the courage to trust a certain idea and allow the agency the freedom that they need to sort of bring the beautiful ideas to life. But having said that, the responsibility of building that perception for generation after generation to dream of working in such companies, the real grunt work is ultimately sort of the weightlifting. Majority of the weightlifting is done by agency in collaboration with that of the sort of company. So it's something to think about for the audience. So what I mean to say, or just to sort of come back to the question that you asked us, it's very clear, right? Please understand that in the agency world also there are different departments that are there. There are different facets to what happens there. Somebody is really good with math. Somebody is really good with research. Somebody is really good with identifying data. We need them. Uh, Somebody is really good with marrying the data with human insights. We need them. The planning department would love to have such people. Somebody who is, irrespective of your part of finance, HR, or marketing, or you're not even sort of having a degree, it doesn't matter. You have the ability to craft something beautiful. You have the ability to crack interesting jokes basis human insights. You have the ability to do poetry, comedy, write short films, etc., etc., etc. We need you. The industry needs you. So while it feels restrictive, it also opens up to the people with the right talent and the right attitude, and welcomes them with the open arms. See, uh, uh, having work to work in a advertising agency is very similar to working as though you are the founder of the agency itself, which means that in Infosys, as the employee of Infosys, you can very easily disagree with Narayan Murthy's philosophy of working for 70 hours a week. But at an advertising agency, if you don't love doing that, right? And if you believe in subscribing to YouTube's no ad or ad-free subscription, and if you are in the habit of hitting skip button, probably this industry is not for you. So you need to sort of understand that eating, talking to a street vendor, or to your girlfriend, or to your grandmom, or to the neighboring auntie, or to the uncle, everything can give you a beautiful insight. So you're on the job all the time. The only time when you're not doing it is probably in your sleep, and even then you thought of a particular problem, you thought of a particular brief, you have an idea, you wake up, start noting down the idea. So if you can't live it, then it is very sort of difficult. Today's age of nothing against the work-life balance. But then if you have a philosophy of I want to log out at 6:30, I want to start at 9:30, I am very disciplined. I will do my job 100% right, with all honesty, between 9:30 to 6:30. But after that, I have a life of my own. Uh, 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 get a corporate job, you will have that mental peace. Somebody
Mm,
who is a little satkela and who is a little crazy and doesn't necessarily believe in 2 plus 2 is equal to 4,
mm,
and can live that life, and enjoy the process of being on the job all the time, while they're giving time to their parents, while they're giving time to their friends, while they're sort of doing fulfilling all the other commitments as well. The job doesn't feel like a job at all, because if you're doing it all the time, who is asking you when you're logging in and when you're logging out? So I think that difference is very important. One last aspect is also for you to understand that uh, 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 the actually two more things that I would like to sort of highlight is, please understand that even after doing all of these things, agencies don't give you the best of the best salaries out there. It's very simple. Why is it so? If they are working so hard, go ask the clients as to why they are not paying us as much, and why that money can't be further sort of given out to the sort of talent or team. But having said that, if you keep that aspect aside, there is one important thing for you to consider, be it in the
mm,
finance world or be it in the sort of marketing. uh, uh, Please ask yourself this question: what is the first sort of job that you're getting? Most probably it is sales. And nobody sort of majority of you would not have thought of, hey, you know what, I want to get into ITC or HUL and then become a salesman, right? For any of those companies. If you hate that aspect, advertising is a better alternative for you. And because advertising people are very creative, we have creatively sort of branded it as something that gets you to work a lot. But trust me, the people who are working in bank are also not working any less than us, or people who are working in the sort of new age quick commerce or e-commerce platforms aren't working anything less than us. So when that is the reality, if you don't want to do sales and want to be part of something creative, come join an advertising agency. That's my sort of call out to the fresh talent out there. If you are able to sustain for the first 4 5 years without if the marshmallow effect, right? If you are okay with delayed gratification, this is the best way for you to sort of reach the top. Money becomes more important. You don't want to lead that sort of hectic life. You want something which is a little more relaxed. Work in an advertising agency for 5 years, jump to the corporate and expect a easy 100% hike on whatever you're making at that point in time. So yeah, that's a choice that you need to sort of make. That's a question that one needs to answer for themselves and then decide for themselves. Yeah,
That's super insightful because, the way you have drawn that contrast really helps students to understand where they would thrive based on their, of course, work style and priorities. And the way you have put passion versus money debate, that's such a balanced way to put it, because passion, again, alone can't pay bills, but the learning curves in agencies really does build your long-term value, which is going to stay with you for a longer period of time. So that's a
absolutely.
brilliant, brilliant answer. I have another question to you, which would be again the last interview question of this particular podcast. From the outside world, agency looks very fast paced and glamorous. But what's the one truth about working in agencies that every fresher should know before joining?
I think the truth reveals itself depending on what your perceptions are or what your beliefs are. So, if you ask me, if you want to know what it is like, trust me. Now there's a culture which was not there when we were in school. But then
Mhm,
right now there's a culture of picking up multiple internships. Right.
mhm,
My answer for them to sort of understand and uncover the truth is very simple. take 2 internship, one in a bank and one in an advertising agency, and it will reveal itself for you, and you will know whether you are made for it or not, and you will be content with the choice that you basically sort of end up making after that. That's the easiest way for you to sort of understand what it is. And one thing about advertising agency that you should understand is, please remember, I was born in the year when Piyush Pandey actually wrote Mile Sur Mera Tumhara, which was a beautiful song with an intent to integrate the whole of country, especially when there is so much of debate around language and culture that is happening. Please remember that he started as an account executive and went on to become one of the brilliant creative minds that the world has seen, right? What I mean to say is, where you join, what you join as an advertising agency does not define what you can possibly do. You might have joined there as an HR, yeah, but then if you have crazy ideas, you will have a seat at the table. So trust me, in terms of possibilities, right? In terms of trying to craft something, you are never restricted by what designation or what package you are at. The
Mhm.
best idea always wins. And most of the agencies, I believe, or at least the top agencies, including at Clevertize, that culture is very strongly defended, wherein the best idea should win, and it doesn't matter if your boss likes you or not, whether you're in good books with your boss or not. None of those things or corporate politics doesn't matter at agencies. Only thing that matters is the best idea, and if you have the best idea and the ability to basically do the grunt work to bring that idea to life, agency world allows you. So my solution to find out the truth: get an internship in a bank, get an internship in an advertising sort of agency, and you will find it for yourself. Yeah.
That's such an empowering note because it's great to know that new ideas and fresh energy still have a big place in the industry. Because everybody is so caught up with the work-life politics and work-life balance nowadays that they have lost the idea of following your passion these days. So amazing, brilliant answers, and thank you so much for keeping it so thoughtful. And this entire conversation was very grounded. Thank you so much, Sagar, for joining
Thank you
us.
so
And
much. I hope that your audience is benefited from it, and they are able to sort of make better choices basis this conversation. Because when I started my sort of career, didn't have an elder brother to sort of guide me out. But I think with this conversation, with the initiative that Shruti and ISBR are taking, I hope that the audience is able to explore their career options better, and it would be of some benefit. So with that hope, I thank you for the opportunity to sort of have this lovely conversation with you.
thank you so much, Sagar. Likewise, it was amazing and it was lovely conversation.
Thank you.